My name is Sharon, and I'm an alcoholic with a splitting headache.
My advice, find a reason to be here that's bigger than you are.
I read about this family in the paper. I think this is it.
Dad, we have a situation. I want to look pretty for Mommy.
Well, I just wanted to come by and give you this.
I just made dinner if you want to stay.
Would love to.
What are you doing? I met this woman. She's a mess.
Perfect. She'll fit right in.
All right, Jamal Finkley, Black Tree TV. Hello, Tamala.
Hi.
First,
How are you?
I'm doing great. I gotta ask first off, because I know you grew up in Pasadena. My kids grew up in Pasadena. Were you a PHS or Muir kid or neither one?
Oh my God. I would have given up weeks of watching the Cosby Show just to go to one of those schools, but I was stuck at Marshall Fundamental from 6th through 12th grade.
Oh, that was like a fast school. I like Marshall was a great school also.
Yeah.
But I mean, I gotta tell the audience, 'cause I know they know, but you've had 85 acting credits, and I mean, if I could go through some of them, it's like Blue Streak, The Wood, Friday After Next, Dangerous Minds. You was it at Jay-Z, Girls, Girls, Girls.
Girls.
Booty Call, Daddy Day Camp, Who's Your Caddy, Soul Man. So many great projects, which brings me to my first question. I know that we've seen like all these great actors come out and talk about, you know, how it's not actually how it seems. And with you with 85 credits, I'm not on what you have to talk about any of your contracts, but I know you've probably heard what Taraji and Terrence have said it. What's the disconnect between what the audience thinks about how an actor lives off of these jobs as opposed to like the reality?
Listen, this is show business, right? This is Hollywood, glitz and glamour. Our job is to give you all of that entertainment. However, we are all artists, and I don't believe all artists are rich in any genre of artistry, painting, photography, whatever it is. I feel like once you get something, once you have that product, once you are in something that is so hot, like a Barbie or Avatar or Wakanda Forever, that's when they back that truck up. You know, when you paint your first Picasso and everyone goes crazy, that's when they back that truck up and you get your coin. I understand Taraji, and I do support her and what she had to say. She's absolutely right. But I don't want people to forget that this is artistry. This is an art. And if you're in it for the money, I'm sorry, it's the wrong reason to be involved. It's always about the art. It should always be about the art. As far as equal pay, we have a union that if enough of us sisters get together, because we already went through the overall haul of the shutdown and the strike, and that was for everyone in the business that is a member of the union. But if we still have a problem, then I suggest us sisters get together, have a beautiful luncheon conversation, see what we can do, what our concerns are, and we take those to our union rep. And one of our union reps would understand this because it's Angela Bassett's husband, Courtney B. Vance. He's there. So I'm sure we will be heard if we follow the rules of engagement. Sometimes we get a little emotional and we say how we feel, and we're only human. So I respect everything Sister Taraji had to say, but there are rules to the engagement.
Yeah. I gotta ask about this movie, because this definitely was a tearjerker to watch. When you was going through the script, did you have that same emotion? And also when you're playing in a movie like that and you're doing these scenes, and I know it's cut after cut, but does it still feel like the emotional tug of like what's going on in the story?
Well, when I read the script, it was very emotional, you know, knowing that it was a true story. But when you're in the moment and you're performing, there's nothing, for me anyway, I don't want to speak for every actor that's in the movie, but for me, my job is, am I getting the story across in the most truthful way that I possibly can? And John Gunn, am I doing all the direction that you needed me to do? Because the director needs to be able to tell the story with his players, you know, or her players, whoever the director is. And if you're not a good listener, if you can't see the vision, then you're not going to get probably hired too much more. So my anxiety is about the performance. And then my anxiety again is after it's all cut together, because I hate watching myself on anything. I'm like, pick myself apart. But on this one, I didn't even notice anything. I was so in awe of everybody's performance. I love Amy Acker, who played the mom who passed away. I love Drew Powell, who played the pastor. I mean, he was so fun to be around in between takes. He played a guitar. We all were singing all the songs we could, because we were literally in the middle of a snowstorm. But after seeing the finish and watching everybody you had a good time with, you know, I learned a lot from Hillary. I learned a lot from Alan. You know, you take all of that and then you sit there and watch the finish and you're like, whoa, whoa. I was crying. I welled up for tears of joy. And is this going to work out? I was so moved and captivated by everything, especially these two little girls that played the sisters. I mean, Emily Mitchell and Skywalker Hughes they're the ones to look out for. They're the youth coming up, and they came out swinging. I did not treat them like little girls. I was like, hey, ma'am, you looking good. Congratulations. Thank you. You know, so I was in awe of everyone. I was always a big fan of Hilary Swank. I've just gotten to know Alan. I'm just getting to know these kids, and Drew Powell and Nancy Travis, who I've been a fan of forever. I get to work with all these people. So it kind of had me reminiscing of my first big project, Booty Call, when I was just so in awe of everybody. It was the same energy.
Wandered into a lady you never met before his funeral. Why exactly?
Because she's on Sharon.
No, I don't know why. Just something about that little girl sick without a mama just breaks my heart. She's just 5 and she already needs a liver transplant. Then I heard people saying the family's bled dry from all the hospital bills. Rose, I think I'm supposed to give them the money for the transplant.
You got that kind of money? I want a raise.
You lucky I'm paying you anything at all.
I don't mean give them the money from me. I mean, you know, find it, get it somehow.
Thousands of dollars for a stranger's surgery. Just get it.
Don't be negative.
Can you take us back to your first big casting where you got the role? Like, how was that feeling? And did you do anything different in that casting that you slammed other than you was doing before? Unless that was your first time and you was a one-hitter quitter. Can you just take us back to that moment?
My very first time I booked anything.
First time again, like that you booked something that, you know, that you booked like a real significant role, and I'm sure you was like proud of yourself and elated. Like, can you just bring us back there how that moment
was Booty Call. That was Booty Call. I was barely 21 when I got that role. And I just come off of shooting the last episode of the last season of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And our director was an executive producer on Booty Call. And I didn't know that until I was going up to audition for the role. And I have to tell you that at the end of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, you know, when you have a 4-camera show, at the end, they introduce the cast. Everybody comes out and waves and takes their bows. After that was over, Will told me, you're going to be a big star one day. And then a few months later, I go to the Sony lot and I'm auditioning for Booty Call, and I hear somebody's, Tamala! I'm like, don't nobody on the Sony lot know me. Who was calling me? It was Will. He was there shooting Men in Black. He said, you going up there to see Jeff Pollock? I said, yeah. He said, I'm going to put in a good word for you. And he did. And I got Booty Call. And I got to work with Jamie Foxx and Tommy Davidson, who I had watched from In Living Color. And their show had just ended. So now I'm in with the big dogs. I got to hang. And then I loved Vivica from Out All Night with Patti LaBelle. Big fan of hers and from her soap opera days. So I would have to say Booty Call was it. We shot it in Toronto. I was with all the people I was fanning over. And on top of that, Don Cheadle, Eric LaSalle, Daryl Chill Mitchell, Dave Brown, like all these guys are up there shooting another movie. So every weekend we were clubbing or playing spades or doing something. And you gotta, for someone who just been out of school for just a couple of years, who this is my dream, and now I'm with people that I've watched sort of like almost my whole life, you know. That was exciting, that was fun, that was unforgettable, and I will forever be grateful for that experience, for the knowledge that Jamie Foxx gave me, for the comedy that he gave me, for the notes that Tommy gave me, for the ladylike zhuzh that Vivica taught me. I didn't know anything about wine. So she takes me out to dinner, gives me the wine list. Tamala, we're going to order wine. She said, do you know what kind of wine you like? I said, I like red. And she goes, okay, when he comes, you're going to order your wine. And so the waiter comes over and I was like, I'll have a glass of Merlot, please. And they started laughing and she waited till he walked away. And she said, Tamala, it's Merlot. So I had fun. I learned a lot. I still talk to them here and there, you know, in passing at different events. It was a huge blessing. I was able to buy my grandmother a brand new washer and dryer with that check.
Hey, appliances are real grown folk stuff. I remember when I bought my first refrigerator. I was like, I'm grown now, I'm buying appliances. So has there been anybody in your life that you feel like has been like an ordinary angel, kind of, maybe not to the degree that Hilary Swank, because she was, I mean, Hilary Swank's character was getting 5 planes and everything, but I mean, just on any level that you just feel like you've had one of those in your life?
I have. I've had an ordinary angel besides my grandmother and my mom being the ordinary angels in my everyday life. There was a friend of mine. He's a real estate developer in Los Angeles. His name is Ramon, but I call him Ramon. Well, wagwan Ramon. He knew, it was like during the first strike that we had, I think it was tailoring off of 2004, 2005. I wasn't doing so well. I had 2 properties. One was under construction. The other one I'm about to lose to the bank. I don't want to do that. And he came, I met him through another friend. He was not my friend at first, but he liked my acting. And he was like, okay, I understand you're going through a hard time. Here's a check. He signed it and he left it blank. And he told me to put in whatever it was that I needed. And I cried, because how do you trust my heart enough to know that I'm not going to take advantage of you? I only took $500 because that's what I needed at that time. He was like, that's it? That's all I need. I know something's coming, but for right now, I need that to get by. So I've had, that's just one ordinary angel that I'm talking about. I've had many.
Thank you. How the heck did you do this, and how come you ain't never done this for us? This needed proper motivation. It's only 7. You need more people. It's not enough.
Oh, don't you worry.
What's this?
Girl, I got 42 cousins on my mama's side alone. I called all of them.
Couldn't love you more if you were smothered in gravy.
Hey.
Come on in.
Hello. Rose.
Hey. What a beautiful family. What's up, baby?
Good. Make me beautiful. Hey, make me twice as beautiful. Twice as beautiful as me. Come on, man. You're not magicians.
What can I do? $3,254.
That is a lot of haircuts.
Sure is. I'd say let's get a drink to celebrate, but I can feel you not talking right now.
All right, I know that was an intense thing to do, just to drop you off like that, but...
Well, it was a wake-up call. Message received. I'm gonna stop drinking so much. I mean, mainly so I don't have to see that look on your face. Okay?
Okay.
I want to take you back just because it's been in the news so much, but I mentioned all those films, and I want to go back to next Friday, where you have I know you know, there's been a lot of talk about, you know, Katt's character and Rickey Smiley. Like, how was that set? Did it seem like it was beef on set then, or was everything like kind of like happened post movie?
Honey, I don't know, because I was in Next Friday. He was in the Friday After Next.
Oh,
But what I can
after
tell
that.
you about Ice Cube is he runs a really nice set. You know, everything's mapped out. Everybody's supposed to come in, do their work. Everyone has auditioned for the roles that they're going to play. And that's that. Before you come to set, you know what it is. I don't know what those two guys were discussing, but I know how Ice Cube works. And he's very thorough and very business, you know.
Yeah.
So that for them must have been personal, because Cube don't operate like that. Cube Vision is very, very professional. And despite what you may think about Ice Cube being a rapper or whatever, he's totally business, and a great businessman at that.
Yeah.
So I don't know how those guys got confused.
Another thing that was going on in the movie is that Hilary Swank's character and your character was really holding her feet to the fire on it, was dealing with addiction. You know, how prevalent, because I know it seems like it's just some taboo thing and something, but how many people you think are in that same situation where they need to go get that help? You know, maybe, you know, even I'm not talking about the meth and everything else, but people that just maybe drink too much and might not be holding themselves accountable. Like, how prevalent do you think that is in this generation of people that sometimes somebody might need to go get help to turn that around?
Very prevalent. And you have to understand that we've all been through something so traumatic called the pandemic, you know, and people really didn't know how to deal with it. None of us have ever been through that in this lifetime. So maybe you weren't an alcoholic prior to, or maybe you were, but you picked up something along the way. You know, I think everybody kind of leaned towards something to just help them escape what was going on. And I actually had a friend that I had to tell, it's too much. You need to go get help. And sometimes a lot of people aren't receptive to that. Sometimes they don't feel like they need help. Sometimes they're like, go leap off a bridge and leave me the hell alone, you know? That's what I was told. However, alcoholism is a disease. It's not how, you know, some people drink and make a choice, like, I'm not gonna have a drink today. For alcoholics, it's not the same. And for anyone that feels like they need to go get help, please do. Because I also had a friend that was an alcoholic and did get help. And when that person got clear, they had so much joy and so much clarity. And they're so spiritual right now. And everything is about being positive. And they lend their time to talk to other people that were in the same situation. And I found that to be a beautiful turnaround, you know, and that's similar to what Sharon did, you know?
Yeah. And I could attest to it. The pandemic, one of the only things that was open was the liquor store. And I started drinking so much Hennessy, I couldn't even feel it. I just now I
Honey.
drink it no more. I mean, Hennessy probably would turn my stomach now, but it's, yeah, I'm sure a lot of people in the pandemic was like a special situation for our era. Looking through your credits, I also see, I mean, because I loved you in the Wood. I see that there is another Wood coming up. Can you tell us anything about that project and what's, you know, is this a film, a series, or hush
This
hush
is a
right now?
series. It's a series, and we had a pilot, and our pilot didn't get picked up by that network. But from what I'm told, we're still shopping it around. What I loved about the new Wood, some of us old heads came back, myself, Richard T. Jones, I think Tay Diggs stepped in a little bit, but it was really to usher in some of the new talent, like Melvin Gregg, who I'm a huge fan of. He was in the pilot as well. And all the beautiful, just everybody so talented. So I hope that Rick Famuyiwa is on it, and that we can make it happen because everybody loves that movie. I get approached more about that than anything. So it is a coming of age movie, and I think that we need coming of age TV and movies right now. You know, these kids, I love the kids, but y'all kind of wild, you know. But once again, you're teenagers in a pandemic, so I have to give you grace on that, you know.
Yeah. I mean, you've worked with so many great people that it's amazing. And I know that you've probably taken something from all of those great actors and actresses that you've worked with. But I always love to see you on screen. I love to see you in this movie. Sometimes I go into faith-based movies and feel like it's gonna be corny, but this was not at all corny. And like, I wasn't ashamed that I had tears at the end of the movie. I was like,
I love it.
you know?
That's what I love about Kingdom Story Company. They have this beautiful way of delivering a faith-based movie without sticking it in your face that that's what it is, you know? They really take you on a journey, and most of their stories are based off of true stories. So you can identify, you can feel, and you can know that this wasn't just made up, this actually happened. And I feel when you have that, you become even more inspired after leaving the movie theater, knowing that this really happened, knowing that if you just keep your faith strong, anything is possible.
Yeah. All right, but before we go, any biopic person that I got two questions before we go. First, I need to know a Black history, because Black history is every day, not just this month, but just give me one Black history hero that needs to get more shine, that, because we know Martin Luther King, but anybody, it might not even, it might be somebody in your family, but just give us one Black history hero that our audience should look up and support, or just find out a story about. That's question number one. And two, is there any biopic character that you would like to portray that you feel free to mention? If you don't want to mention it, that's cool too.
Listen, for both of those, I'm gonna say Eartha Kitt. Okay, Eartha is one of the trailblazers that have allowed me to walk through the doors I've been in, and I feel they did not talk about her enough. She was the first Catwoman, and for me, besides Julie Newmar, the best. Those were my two favorite Catwomen, but she looked like me. Eartha she looked like me, a Black woman. You know, I'm gonna send you a hair-raising bomb. She had the diction, she had the beauty, she had the body, she had the brains. She was born on a slave plantation, and she's mixed race, and the trials and tribulations that she had to go through, we don't talk about them enough. We just say, Marcus, oh, boomerang.
Yeah.
But she
I was gonna
needs her
ask you to say that.
flowers. She needs her flowers. And I feel that we should highlight all of our Black actresses more. Hattie McDaniels, Lena Horne, Diane Carroll in her early days. We talk about them a little bit and then we just leave them alone. So I like to focus Black history on the artists that don't really get talked about enough. And those are my girls.
I would love to see that story. Hopefully it gets made one day. I'd love to see you portray it. Thank you for your time. I'm always a big fan. You're on screen. I want to see. So keep on doing it. I'll keep on watching and keep on cheering for you. And
thank you.
Shout outs to Marshall. Marshall deserves some love too.
Yeah, Marshall was good. We were high on academics, but we lost every game in every sport. We sucked. That was the only thing.
You had to go practice that PHS because you had to have a track, but it was all good.